What's up everyone, and thank you for stopping by the channel. Today's project is this snapper lawnmower, and the problem is that it desperately needs a tune-up, but more importantly, the self-propel doesn't work. Let's take a good look at it, find out what's wrong with it, and hopefully we can fix it. In this video, we try and repair this mower. However, it may not be the exact repair you need to make to yours. We'll explore other options later in the video. This mower has been seriously neglected when it comes to oil changes. Now, the only thing you have to worry about is making sure you just don't overfill it. Also, it seems to be running a little rough, so I'll replace the spark plug. Now, the bigger problem, of course, is the self-propel. It stopped working quite suddenly, so it's probably a broken belt, but we'll have to get underneath the deck to find out. Before I do the oil change, I want to run the engine for a little bit to warm it up, and then I'll drain it. As you just saw, the self-propel doesn't work at all, and this mower is heavy enough that it kind of needs self-propel. Now, there is a tiny bit of gas in the tank. I'm going to remove the air filter since tipping the mower might cause some of that gas to spill from the carburetor. Now, this oil is incredibly dirty, and if I had to guess, I think there's about 3 seasons of use on it. I'll give this time to drain, and while I'm waiting for it, I'll move on to replacing the blade. So here's the reason why I'm replacing this blade. It's not just worn down on the cutting edge, but also the trailing edge. When parts of it start to break off there, you might as well just replace it. Also, while I'm under here, I'll remove the belt guard and look to see if the belt is broken. Unfortunately, the belt is still on the pulley and it's not broken, so that's not our problem. That means I'll have to look at the transmission and its pulley. However, this style of mower requires the whole front end, which is plastic, to be removed. There are several screws that have to be removed from the top and the bottom, so be prepared to hunt around for them. Now, the oil is done draining, so I'm going to fill it right now so I don't forget it later on. I know it's kind of strange to fill it now since I haven't finished tipping the mower over, but the oil shouldn't leak out, so we should be okay. Now, if you're afraid it will leak out, don't tip the mower over. Instead, just lift the front end up of the mower to do the rest of the work. Now that all the screws are out, we can then remove the front part of the mower. And with the cover gone, we can see the transmission, and fortunately for us, it looks like the belt has simply jumped off the pulley. I'll just reinstall it and we should have the self-propel working again. Okay, it looks like the reason the belt jumped off the pulley is because the wire guard broke on one end. And I'll be honest, I don't think they sell this guard by itself anymore. The only thing I could think of was to make a new one using a wire clothes hanger. There's still about 80% of it left, so I should be able to bend up a new one. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to keep the belt from jumping off the pulley. Now, if you're doing this repair for a friend or a family member, make sure you ask them about making your own guard. You never know, they might want an OEM part instead of a homemade part. Now that the belt guard has been fixed, we can then put the front end back on. Now, another reason why your self-propel may not be working is that the transmission is broken internally. And if you fix the belt and the self-propel cable is working like it's supposed to and it's still not working, then it's probably the transmission. And if that's the case, replacing it usually is out of the question. It's just easier to buy a brand new mower. Now, I'm not going to replace the air filter as it was replaced near the end of last season, and even though the engine starts and runs, I'm going to replace the spark plug. Now, the engine was running a bit rough, and I want to see if the plug might fix that. Luckily, the self-propel is working and the engine is running a lot smoother. Now, the engine was already damaged because of the lack of oil changes, but we might be able to get a few more seasons out of it if we keep with a regular oil change schedule. So my question to you is, how often do you tune up your lawn equipment? Once a year or even longer than that? Or do you just change things when problems arise? Now, I'll be honest with you, I only do oil changes once a year and I usually don't change anything else until I have a major problem. So you know what I do, but I'm more interested in what you do. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time here. Please feel free to ask any questions, and I hope to see you in my next video.